Hello and welcome to Chabot News for May 16th, 2024. My name is Evan Neto and today we'll be covering a fatal bus crash, record-breaking heat, and the new Oakland Ballers. In entertainment news, Cristian will tell you about the Met Gala. And finally, in sports news, India has the latest updates on the track meet blackout. All that and more coming up in today's edition of Chabot News. Florida's Highway Patrol is investigating a deadly incident involving a bus carrying farm workers in Marion County. Marion County Fire Rescue says 8 people have died and 45 others were injured, including 8 in critical condition. The crash involved the 2010 International bus and a 2001 Ford Ranger on West Highway 40. Highway Patrol says the 2 vehicles apparently sideswiped one another. After the collision, the bus drove off the road, through a fence, and then overturned. The Marion County Sheriff's Office says West Highway 40 will remain closed for most of the day. The National Transportation Safety Board is monitoring the situation. Speaking of cars, if you drive all the time and would like to learn about some nifty hacks for your vehicle, then here is The Professional Driver with Alan Sampson.
Beep, beep, beep. It's The Professional Driver with your driving hack segment. What is the best way to know the distance from the front of your car to the curbside? Before we get into that, we asked some college students how they do it.
I don't even drive yet. I'm still practicing.
I mean, my car drives itself, so I just let it handle the business, And if I can't, do it myself, I just call my dad. He does it for me,
I live in Oakland sometimes I don't even really park my car. I get out and ghost with them.
Just give it a little love tap, it won't hurt too much. Both cars will be just fine at the end of the day, just squeeze in the parking spot. That's how I do it.
Those were some interesting answers there. Let's get into our driver hack now. So what is the best way to judge the distance from the front of your vehicle to the curb? Well, all you have to do is pay attention to the left side mirror. When the bottom of that mirror coincides with the top of the curb, the distance should be about 10 centimeters.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll apply that next time I try driving.
Okay, yeah, so 10 centimeters. What's that, 4 inches-ish?
Something like that, yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm pretty familiar with that, so yeah, I think I can do that.
Thank you for informing me. I will definitely keep that in mind.
All right, for sure. I'll let people know how that's how it's done. I appreciate you letting me know.
Remember to drive safely and please be courteous. I am Alan Sampson reporting for Chabot TV.
Thanks, Alan. The Professional Driver will continue to keep you up to speed with all the latest driving tips. Last summer was the hottest in at least 2,000 years. That's according to new research in the journal Nature. Scientists looked at weather data and detailed sets of tree rings from thousands of trees across 9 regions from the northern hemisphere. Tree rings provide a climate history for each year of the tree's life, going back centuries or even thousands of years. Scientists were able to use that data to reconstruct the annual temperatures of northern hemisphere summers. They found that the summer of 2023 was hotter than any other summer in at least 2,000 years. And they warned that 2024 is on track to be even hotter. Now we're going to India Richardson for this week's look at sports news.
Thanks, Evan. There was a heartwarming display of teamwork and problem solving by some high school athletes in Winona, Minnesota earlier this week. Field lights at a track meet went off while in the middle of a race. That's when other students stepped up, lighting up the track for their fellow runners. Eric Min spoke with some of the students on both sides of this surprise blackout.
High school athletes from 9 school districts participated in the True Team Section 1 AA track meet Tuesday night in Winona. It was the last event of the night, with one group of runners passing the baton to another group of runners in the 4x4 relay. That's when the race took a dark turn.
I started weaving in and out of the lanes because I didn't know where I was going. And then I looked to my left a little bit and I just saw a bunch of flashlights.
In a flash, students rushed to the track one by one, turning on their cell phone lights to shine the way.
I saw everyone just screaming in my face and all the flashlights pointing towards me saying keep going and everything, so.
And everybody started screaming, it was crazy, and then
cameras go on and people are like holding them up and stuff. It was awesome.
To help fellow runners out, even students who ended their leg of the relay join in on the lighted show of support.
Yeah, I just got off the track. I was gassed. I was looking for my phone, trying to get my flashlight on, just trying to find out where everybody was at and trying to get them some lights so they could run.
Student athletes train for many things, but a blackout typically isn't one of them.
Because usually if that were to happen, the lights would come right back on, but they stayed off, so I was mainly just confused with what was going on.
It was a really cool experience just to watch them run in it, and once everyone started turning their flashlights on, I was like, oh, this is how it's gonna go.
I was just like, okay, well, I got up and then I turned my flashlight on as well and then went along the side and just helped Dad light, I guess.
In the end, everyone safely crossed the finish line, each, you could say, on a bright note.
When I got the baton, it was pretty cool because everyone had it lit up, and it was it's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. It was like a special moment.
A special moment that shines the spotlight on true teamwork.
Thanks, Eric. Who would have thought cell phones could produce so much light? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were well received during their visit to Nigeria, including their meetings with local charities supporting wounded service members inspired by the Duke of Sussex Invictus Games Foundation. Stephanie Busari reports from Lagos.
It's the third day of Prince Harry and Meghan's visit to Nigeria, and they've really been given the red carpet treatment out here. On Sunday, their trip moved to Lagos, the economic capital, where Meghan received Mother's Day wishes. They also visited a school to see the work of Giants of Africa, a charity founded by former NBA star Masai Ujiri, which helps underprivileged kids. Meghan and Harry announced a partnership between their Archwell Foundation and Giants of Africa to empower young people through sports, especially basketball. They mingled with wheelchair basketball players at the event, and Harry scored a basketball shot, cheered on by excited kids at the end. Their visit to Nigeria has been special for Meghan in particular, who has been on a journey of discovery to learn more about her Nigerian heritage. She had previously disclosed that she found out she's 43% Nigerian after a gene test. And during the trip, she described Nigeria as her home and her country. She also shared at a women's leadership event how meaningful it was to learn about her roots, especially as an African American. During their Lagos visit, Harry and Meghan also met with the Lagos governor and held a private fundraiser to raise money for state-of-the-art Invictus Center in the country. Stephanie Busari, CNN, Lagos.
Thanks, Stephanie. Wounded veterans are not uncommon in Nigeria, as the country has been fighting jihadists in the northeast for some time. That's all for this week's sport news. I'm India. Now back to you, Evan.
Thanks, India. Hold your horses and listen to this. Jared Howard, a cowboy hailing all the way from Texas, is actually more than just a cowboy. He teaches the history of the black cowboys that came before him and their importance to American culture. Dea Barry Mitchell has the story.
Every day starts the exact same way for Jared Howard.
Come on. Grooming, cleaning, and feeding.
A brush and a saddle are all he needs for work. Every day, spending hours and hours on his farm as the owner of 2R Equine, an equestrian center in Fort Worth.
I can come out here and shovel poop for 8 hours and just be, perfect.
It's a legacy he's working to create as a cowboy. And for the last 2 years, he's taught everything from rehabbing horses to riding lessons.
This is where I get my high. Coming out here, even though I'm in the middle of the city, I'm in the middle of nowhere.
And in every single class, he also teaches a little history lesson that some people might not be aware of. Howard says the history of the cowboy runs deep, very deep in black history.
A lot of people think this is new to us, and that's the furthest thing from the truth.
The black cowboy is a key part of American history and Texas history. From pioneers like Bill Pickett to Bass Reeves, Howard hopes to walk in those footsteps, to expose the younger generations to a different culture or career path.
This gives those younger generations something to do other than going and dealing dope.
Because on farms just like his, there's a need for more black cowboys.
It teaches things like responsibility. It teaches you an appreciation for nature.
And Dia Berry Mitchell backs up that claim. She's a historian, and her ancestors are cowboys. She says in the early 19th century, black cowboys in the West worked as ropers, trail cooks, wranglers, even bronco busters. It's a culture Mitchell says should be continued.
Because we weren't given our full respects during that time, I think today it would be truly significant to have continued that tradition.
And Howard is a prime example because his legacy starts every single day on this farm.
I love that.
Thanks, Dea. The history of black cowboys runs very deep, and it's good to see those stories being told. The Oakland Ballers, West Oakland's newest baseball team, have begun renovations on their home field at Raimondi Park. Raimondi Park is a recreational park in Oakland, situated at the corner of 18th and Wood Street. The park was dedicated to minor league baseball player and World War II veteran Ernie Raimondi in 1947. The renovations are a part of the $1.6 million revitalization plan to bring the field and surrounding facilities up to professional standards. According to the Ballers representatives, the finished field will include a 4,000-seat capacity, upgraded concessions, a 1,000-space parking lot, and shuttle stops for fans arriving to the game via BART. The Ballers plan to have the field ready by the time of their home opener on June 4th against their Pioneer League rivals, the YOLO High Wheelers. Now it's time for entertainment news with Cristian Gonzalez.
Thanks, Evan. A parade of A-listers will be descending on New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art for fashion's biggest night out. This year's Met Gala is being co-chaired by Bad Bunny, Jennifer Lopez, Chris Hemsworth, and Zendaya. The theme is The Garden of Time, a 1962 sci-fi story by British author J.G. Ballard. Inspired by the story, which takes place in a garden of mind-bending florals, the museum has created an exhibition that features the connection between nature and technology. Using AI, the exhibit will reimagine fashion pieces that are hundreds of years old. Celebs often use the Met Gala's theme to dress for the occasion, creating quite the scene on the red carpet. Aside from the fashion spectacle, the gala is above all a fundraiser for the museum. Last year's event raised nearly $22 million. One fun note, Met Gala organizer and Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour always tries to keep the event unplugged when it comes to phones and social media. Only professional photos are allowed, but that doesn't stop celebs from sometimes sneaking selfies. Writer-director James Gunn shared this image to his Threads account, the first look at Superman star David Corenswet in costume as the Man of Steel. As you can see, the suit looks worn down and weathered, suggesting Superman may be doing some down and dirty fighting in the movie. The film will be a big break for the 30-year-old actor and his first time leading a major Hollywood picture. He's best known for his supporting roles in 2 Netflix series, The Politician and Hollywood. Corenswet will star opposite the marvelous Miss Maisel's Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. That's all for this week's look at entertainment news. I'm Cristian. Now back to you, Evan.
Thanks, Cristian. Soup has been described as love in liquid form, and one business owner in Alaska is bringing that comfort food to her community, 1 cup at a time. She's feeding hungry kids at a local high school in Anchorage. David Allgood has more on her mission.
It's a super party here.
We're at the Dirty Apron, and we are here on a Monday night for soup service.
This is my favorite thing to do.
There's chopping and peeling. And just a group of coworkers from MCG Architects filling and stirring the pots.
When you come for a good time, lots of laughter, food, some beer and wine always makes a good time.
Having cheesy fun and mugging for the camera. You see, their good time is for a good cause.
So we donate about 140 cups of soup every week.
Amy and Gary York, who own the Dirty Apron, heard West High School kids were going home to no food, and she said,
I can make food, and that's how I show love.
It was an easy decision for Amy, who teaches cooking for a living.
I like to keep my hands out of the way. I think you could watch a baby in that pot.
Not tonight. It's bubbling and stirring of these 3 big pots of homemade deliciousness.
You must stir. We got Portuguese sausage.
You see, when Amy heard 15 to 20 kids from West go home to no food, she simply said,
I can make food. You can help me make food, and we can make people full. Like, help them function better, feel the love. Like,
And that food is her family favorite.
my grandpa was the soup guy.
So soup for Amy is comfort and it's contagious. What happens here is these folks pay to learn to cook and drink and sample these 3 big batches of soup.
This is the #1 soup so far, friend. Thai chicken and rice.
It's a 10.
It's a 10! And the rest of this goodness, well, it's scooped into these 16-ounce containers.
For about 3 months now, we've been in this every week. We send them about 140 cups of soup, and the kids love it. And so,
Sealed, labeled, and tomorrow morning it heads to West High School to fill some bellies and a serious need, hunger. So we can laugh and have a good time and still give, right?
we feel good about giving because it starts with us.
And to think this all started simply with an idea.
We're super excited about it.
The first step, it's the best step, and although we may not see the good we're doing beyond the bowl of now, just know that Amy's soup is
Made with love.
and that's a great start. I'm Dave Allgood, and that's
And it just has to be me and you. You know, it doesn't need to be like we get a ton of people involved in politics. Like, it starts with us.
the Allgood News.
Thanks, David. That was all good. Amy York, alongside her husband Gary York, has a true passion for serving high school students and is continuing to go out of her way to ensure that kids never go home hungry. And now we're going to Rob Knox for a look at his top 5 hip-hop beefs.
If you have been living under a rock these last few weeks, then you probably would have missed one of the greatest hip-hop beefs in history between Drizzy Drake and K-Dot Kendrick Lamar. But this beef started between these two artists was not the only one that made headlines. Here are the top 5 hip-hop beefs in history. Coming in at number 5 is Drake versus Pusha T. It was no secret that Drake and Pusha T had beef with each other long before Drake started beefing with Meek Mills a year prior. But one thing that ended the feud is when Pusha T, for the win, accused Drizzy Drake for hiding a son, which ended up being true. Wow, talk about a mic drop. Coming in at number 4 is Eazy-E versus Dr. Dre. With this feud, Eazy-E and Dr. Dre have been known to be in their rap group, NWA. But things start to get shaky when Dr. Dre decided to take his talents to Death Row Records with Suge Knight. But the feud was not because Dr. Dre's record switch, but Jared Healer, NWA's manager, screwed the group out of royalties and favored Eazy-E. This resulted in the group breaking up and making diss tracks towards each other, such as No Vaseline by Ice Cube, Dre Day by Dr. Dre, and Dre Day is Eazy's Payday by Eazy-E. Next, number 3 is 50 Cent versus Ja Rule. A lot of you might be old enough to remember where you were when this beef first started, but it took to the streets and got real personal real quick, with 50 Cent coming out with the hit record, Wangsta, and Ja Rule sending shots back with his track, Loose Change. But if you're old enough to remember this beef, you probably would have thought when, where, how, and why did this beef start in the first place? Coming in at number 2 is Jay-Z versus Nas. This beef brought out both the MC's iconic creativity, and with this track, and with Jay-Z coming out with a diss track, Takeover, Nas responded with his track with a knockout blow called Ether. A few jokes speculated when Jay-Z and Beyonce's daughter was born, Blue Ivy. Many Twitter users voiced their opinions to the platform, saying anytime Blue Ivy were to ever get mad at Jay-Z, she would go in a room and listen to Ether full blast. Coming in at number 1, of course, is the most tragic hip-hop beef of all time, Tupac versus Biggie. With these two legendary, iconic MCs starting off as friends, became bitter rivals after Tupac was shot in front of a hotel elevator. Tupac, feeling that Biggie had something to do with his attempted assassination, blamed Biggie for what happened. In response, Biggie came out with a suggested song aimed at Tupac, Who Shot Ya?, leaving Pac to fire back with his diss track, Hit 'Em Up, causing this diss track to go platinum. But unfortunately, it caused both these iconic and legendary MCs their lives to end at an early and tragic age. Understand that hip-hop beefs are between the artists, ladies and gentlemen. Do not get your feelings involved and leave the feud to the MCs. My name is Robert Knox, and that has been your top 5 of the week. Back to you, Evan.
Chabot College hosted an exciting Pride Week celebration, and our reporter Diana Osalenko was on the scene to bring you all the highlights.
Welcome to Chabot College Pride Week celebration. We are here to honor diversity, champion equality, and embrace the LGBTQ community. Let's unite in solidarity, amplify voices, and create a more inclusive future. Let the festivities begin. Pride Week celebrates our commitment to supporting every member of our community, no matter their sexual orientation or gender identity. Meet the president of Chabot College Gender Sexuality Alliance and discover campus inclusivity.
This week we are celebrating Pride Week because, well, Pride Month is in June, but we don't have school in June, so we wanted to create a week to create awareness for our queer community on campus, not only our students, but our educators.
GSA is committed to helping to foster a welcoming environment where all students feel valued and respected.
We have a little community. Our little club is kind of a safe place to talk about experiences, create connections, friends, people that can support each other. So that's kind of what our club is just a place for safety and making sure that we're all supporting one another and making sure that Chabot is a safe place for queer students.
Let's hear firsthand from Chabot students about their thoughts on the GSA and its significance in our campus community.
Honestly, I think it means like empowerment, like just showing like all the struggles that we had, just like kind of like combating it in a way. Basically being like, we're human, we exist, just we're not like aliens or anything. Like we're like just part of humans.
Yeah, it just gives us a chance to like share our experiences with others and try to connect with other people who are like us or want to know more about us.
My main advice to somebody who's struggling with their identity or coming out is to have like a really solid support system or community behind them, because it's a lot easier to like figure out who you are and share that if you're ready, if you have like a system of people who understand where you're coming from and who can support you through it.
Bracelets, magnets, and more were up for grabs, ensuring everyone could take a little piece of the experience home with them. This is Diana Osalenko recording from Chabot College.
Thanks, Diana. That sure captured the spirit of Pride Week and provided valuable insight into it. And now we're going back to Diana for yet another Top 5.
Welcome to an exciting exploration of San Francisco's culinary scene. Today, we are exploring the city's top 5 restaurants, each representing a unique blend of flavors and culinary mastery. San Francisco is a treasure trove of diverse cuisines, catering to every taste. So, let's unveil the top 5 culinary gems. Number 5. Chattamata, located 50 of Farrell Street, offers a dining experience unlike any other, where bold flavors, vibrant ambience, and innovative culinary creations converge to create a feast for the senses. This Japanese-Peruvian restaurant brings together the best of two worlds, blending traditional techniques with modern flair to deliver dishes that are both familiar and exhilaratingly unique. The sleek contemporary decor sets the stage for an unforgettable dining adventure, while the buzzing energy of the restaurant infuses every moment with a sense of anticipation. But it's the food that truly steals the show at Chattamata. Drawing inspiration from the rich culinary traditions of Japan and Peru, the menu is a symphony of flavors, textures, and colors. From exquisitely crafted sushi and sashimi to tantalizing Nikkei-inspired small plates, each dish is a work of art that delights the plate and sparks the imagination. By the way, Chattamata has a menu created by group executive chef Jordan Sclear, who worked globally renowned restaurants including the Savoy and Gordon Ramsay 3 Michelin-starred restaurant in Chelsea. He also served as private chef to Giorgio Armani. Number 4. Broad Street Oyster Company, top seafood restaurant in San Francisco, located at historic Girardelli Square. And known for their world-famous lobster rolls, served warm with butter or cold with mayonnaise, Broad Street Oyster Company offers a generous topping of uni and caviar for a modern and luxurious touch. A decadent roll bar and seafood tower platter showcase fresh oysters, stone crab claws, and sea urchin, fish and chips, mussels, and by the pound shrimp cocktail and crab cakes ensures there is something for everyone. And of course, two San Francisco's original classic, cioppino and clam chowder in sourdough bread bowl are mainstays on the menu. Number 3. cocktail bar with a Latin sound Cabana, located on the top of Luma Hotel in Mission Bay, offers unique drinks and stunning skyline views. Each cocktail is a masterpiece in its own right, expertly crafted with a creative twist on classic Latin flavors and delicious South American cuisine is simply outstanding. Every Sunday, salsa lovers flock to dance from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., while DJ nights on Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. keep the energy high. With delicious cocktails, lovely entertainment, and breathtaking vistas, Cabana promises an unforgettable experience in the heart of the city. Cabana was named Top 10 Regional West honoree for Best New U.S. Cocktail Bar in the Spirited Awards. Number 2. La Mar Cocina Peruana, the ultimate heaven for food lovers, serves up Nikkei cuisine, a delicious fusion of Peruvian and Japanese flavors. Located inside the historic Pier 1.5, La Mar minimalist inviting decor perfectly complements its seafood-focused menu, with hints of blue and green adding a touch of seaside charm. Chef Lopez crafts fresh, colorful, and healthy dishes catering to gluten-free and vegan preferences. Meanwhile, the cocktail menu pays homage to Peru's national drink, pisco, offering a diverse selection including the zesty chilcano and traditional Peruvian beverages like chicha morada and Inca Cola. Through the year, La Mar hosts a calendar of events that reflect the rich tapestry of Peruvian culture. From traditional festivals to modern culinary showcases, there is always something happening to delight guests and immerse them in the spirit of Peru. Number 1. State Bird Provisions in the Fillmore District offers an innovative and ever-changing menu inspired by the flavors of the West Coast. This San Francisco gem offers a unique experience with its inventive small plates served dim sum style, allowing diners to sample a wide variety of dishes in one sitting. Additionally, State Bird Provision is known for its commitment to using fresh, seasonal ingredients sourced from local farms and producers, ensuring that each dish bursts with flavor and quality. The restaurant has a casual, busy wife, 2 James Bird Foundation Awards, and Michelin star. That's all for this week's Top 5. I'm Diana Osaulenko, and now back to you, Evan.
Thanks, Diana. Experts say that Lake Tahoe is going to be full for the first time in 5 years. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Lake Tahoe will be filled for the first time since 2019, thanks to heavy rain and snowfall during the 2023 to 2024 winter season. The melting snowpack is expected to run off the surrounding Sierra Nevada mountains and deposit into the Lake Tahoe Dam, which is capable of storing nearly 750,000 acre-feet of water. This development is significant because as recently as 2020, the state of California was considered to be in a mega drought. The USDA report notes that the Lake Tahoe Reservoir can hold enough fresh water for 3 years when full, even if future snowpacks are significantly smaller. That's all for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff in the Mass Communications Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/ChabotTV. Stay tuned to KCTH Channel 27 on Comcast for more Chabot TV.